Marvel and DC are the two iconic comic book franchise and is always been have since the impact today. Okay, now we have James Gunn to replace Zack Snyder as the new director of DC movies and rebooting it all. And now that we finally have the Fantastic Four in the MCU, well, it's time that we will have a conversation about one question. Which movie is better between Superman and the Fantastic Four? Well, we're about to find out today. Now, let's begin. With or without a doubt, both of these movies has great storytelling and colorful visuals, and it actually feels like reading a comic book, and I end up reading a comic after watching these movies too, and they were well paced. With Kung Fu, Superman has their share of strengths, but it also has some share of weakness, and we will talk about it for a minute. Well, the cast really smoked it with the Fantastic Four characters. Mr. Fantastic is likable. Invisible Woman is by far my favorite female hero of the MCU. The Human Torch is the Michelangelo of the group, like he's supposed to be, and the Thing is great. Well, although I thought the female Silver Surfer was just decent at best. Hey, before any of you guys say it, no, it is not for sexual reasons. It's that it doesn't make sense to make Silver Surfer a girl. I grew up with the main version, and this Silver Surfer was definitely not my preferred character. Well, with that being said, at least she is powerful, like the Silver Surfer is supposed to be. Well, after watching the movie, I just went straight to rewatching the scene with the Silver Surfer on YouTube in the 2007 Fantastic Four, and it turns out the power levels between the male version and the female version are pretty much the same, but I will take my own word for it. Okay, the main problem what Superman had is the overall pacing for the subplot. Okay, well, the subplot are resolved in this movie, but it wasn't resolved like in an impactful way. Well, during the climax, the citizens end up trusting Superman again and wanting him back, and I thought that felt rushed. Like, you need more time for it to make it happen. Well, the citizen trusting the Fantastic Four and calming down and being less angry at them was indeed rushed out too, but I guess that one was executed better. Well, both of these movies has skipped origin story, but it felt like Superman has skipped way too much, and that's how rushed it was. Okay, well, I don't mind it at times, but especially that you are new to DC Comics, you might feel that you are lost in what kind of story that they're telling, and it leads you some questions. And the heck, we don't even know how Superman met the Justice Gang. Well, speaking of the Justice Gang, well, I thought they were pretty cool. Well, Mr. Terrific is by far my favorite of the group because of his awesome gadgets, and Metamorpho was understandably emotionally good. Well, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Hot Girl is pretty awesome too, but I think that they should use some more screen time in this movie. Even Supergirl and Crypto are the characters of the movie, and I thought they were perfect, but I just didn't like when they show up in Peacemaker for no reason, and hopefully they don't just make it a habit in the future movies. Okay, overall, the story in both of these movies are emotionally great, and the characters were entertaining, but the subplot issue in the Superman movie just really hold it back for me, and with the resolved plot line that felt rushed, it felt like a fast-paced movie when you break it down to it. it. Well, the Fantastic Four never had the same subplot issue, for what I see, but there are some stuff that really felt rushed due with the better pacing, so the movie with the superior story and better characters, in my opinion, is the Fantastic Four, Four Steps. Okay, now let's talk about the side characters. Well, Lois Lane is the love interest that I yiked, but didn't yike, all thanks to Batman vs. Superman. But in the new Superman movie, however, I thought they made Lois great again. And I was relieved. Well, I thought Jimmy Ocean was the funniest character of the whole entire movie, and I mean it. But although I thought his psychopath love interest was annoying and a bit immature when you realize she is just giving teenage girl vibe, but overall, I thought the supportive character in Superman are just interesting, period. Well, the side characters in the Fantastic Four, well, they got little screen time compared to Superman. Okay, well, it seems like that the Thing is going to have a potential love interest, but it was never shown again. Well, you may argue that Mode Man is in the movie, but he only helped the Fantastic Four with the part of a plan to stop Galactus, so sadly, it does not count for more screen time. And the heck, even the baby that is officially a new member of the Fantastic Four, or I may say Fantastic Five, even the baby has more screen time than everyone, and that is just hilariously embarrassing. Okay, I'm sure you guys have saw this coming, and it is no competition. The movie with the superior supportive character is undoubtedly Superman. The villains in the Superman movie, we have, of course, Lex Luthor and his minions, such as Ultraman and the Engineer. Well, I barely know the Engineer, but she was intimidating. Like, her crazy ability to shoot some dominoes things, whatever what kind of power she has, it was a bit scary. Like, she totally give Amelia from Megan 2.0 a run for her money. Well, Ultraman, well, he turns out to be a clone of Superman, and that is so unexpected. Well, although I had a fan theory that the Superman clone might be Henry Cavill. Okay, I know he doesn't look like Henry Cavill's Superman, but let's just think about it. His face might have burned off when his universe got extinct and got sent to the Pocket Universe, meet Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor probably changed his face into the current Superman and make him a weapon to take him down, and now that I am explaining it, it does make sense. Okay, the villain in the Fantastic Four was Silver Surfer, and the freaking Galactus. I gotta say, when he appeared in the movie, I was so happy and so out of my mind, because we never seen Galactus in the 2007 film, and that is a real shame. And Galactus was an actual threat in this movie. Like, I am not kidding. He was actually scary. Well, now that I have seen the Superman movie 3 times, I realize that Lex Luthor does not have a real villain motivation. Like, we don't actually know why, exactly why he hates Superman. Like, he doesn't have a backstory to show why Lex despises Superman so much. This movie just assumes that we know the character already, but really, we just don't. Well, Lex was a great villain, but it lacks his motivation, which it is less emotional and understandable. The engineer in Ultraman might be a problem for Superman, but they don't even come close as being as threatening as Galactus. So the movie with the far superior villain, for me, is the Fantastic Four. Okay, the action in the new Superman movie, well, it was something that I wish the action could have been in the Man of Steel, because the Man of Steel just tried way too hard with the action and adds so many destructions where I can't even breathe, and the CGI does not make it any better, and the heck, the final battle just ended with Superman snapping General Zod's neck, which it was out of character of Superman to be killing villains. The action in the Superman movie is just nowhere near as overused. They just played it light and great, and that's the way I liked it. Other than the action that makes me feel dizzy, like I just come from a roller coaster. My personal favorite action fight scene is where Superman fights a kaiju, because it makes me think about Superman fighting Godzilla, a inserting showdown that Death Battle should make, but instead, they end up making Godzilla versus the Hulk instead, which I thought it was stupid. The action in the Fantastic Four is also great, and it got even better in the climax. Well, for how good both of these actions are, it depends what kind of action that you're looking for, so I think I might give this round to Superman. You wanna know something? I was impressed of how great this movie turned out, more than I expected it would. Like, the Fantastic Four did something that I wanted from the MCU movies and have Galactus appeared, and Superman did exactly what I wish the Man of Steel could have been. I watched this movie 3 times, and I even almost cried when I watched it the 3rd time with my parents. Well, I have seen the Fantastic Four only 1 time, and I feel like that was enough. Well, although I am looking forward to the new Avengers movie with Dr. Doom, but he's going to be played by the same actor that did Iron Man, which I am a bit concerned. Okay, anyway, without wasting any more time, it's time that I go rate the scores. The Fantastic Four deserve a 10 out of 10. And as for Superman, well, I gave it a 10 out of 10 when I first watched it during camp. But for this video, well, the scores for this movie would be the same, but it just lost extra points a little bit. So now the Superman movie is just a 10 out of 10, period. Not any higher or lower than that, just tied with the Fantastic Four. Well, just keep in mind, the Fantastic Four and Superman are not the Super Mario Bros. Movie situation, where you get to watch these movies for 100 times. But they are the best comic book movies that I ever seen for a long time. Well, you guys can comment down below which movie do you like better and why. Well, if you're new, my name is Isaiah Belfort, and if you enjoyed this video and like what I do, then go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.